Bangladesh, the most polluted country in the world. Here, the worst air quality in the world can be found. Breathing these particles reduces the life expectancy of its inhabitants by up to 7 years. In its rivers, 350 tons of garbage are dumped every day. Drinking water is like drinking poison due to the levels of chemicals and arsenic. The noise in the cities is so extreme that many people suffer from permanent deafness. The meats consumed absorb the metals present in the air and become sources of diseases for humans. Today we will see the damage humans can cause to the planet in the most toxic and polluted country on Earth. We are in Bangladesh, specifically in Dhaka, the most densely populated city on the planet with areas that can have up to 150,000 inhabitants per square kilometer. I have visited polluted places like India, or the most polluted city in Pakistan, but I had never seen anything like this. The entire country is polluted here. The brick factories are one of the main causes of air pollution in Dhaka. It is estimated that 7,000 brick factories in Bangladesh produce 23 billion bricks per year. Additionally, to avoid problems with the authorities, it is said that they bribe them to avoid any kind of regulation. So, in these massive kilns, they burn wood, coal, and other fuels to produce bricks. All the smoke goes directly into the air without any kind of filter. They are responsible for about 60% of the air pollution in Dhaka. This also affects the food that is consumed. The meat exposed to the environment absorbs all the particles from the air. Then, it is washed with water contaminated with arsenic and other chemicals. Also, the lack of refrigeration promotes the growth of bacteria like salmonella. Flies deposit bacteria and parasites, and the temperature makes the meat spoil quickly, generating toxins. This causes food poisoning and severe gastrointestinal infections in people. I had never seen anything like this in my life. A meat market right next to the train tracks, and in the middle of traffic, practically in the heart of the city. It's unthinkable. Here's the butcher shop, here's the market, and right in front are the bars separating us from the train tracks. Look at the train passing by, people on top of the train. And here's something I hadn't seen before. There are people who do not move when the train passes. They are working in the middle of the tracks. This can't be. Look, I can almost touch it. Once the train passes, everything goes back to normal. Those who can't find a space outside the tracks set up inside them. There are people on the train tracks doing business and they don't move even when the train passes. One of the biggest problems has been the contamination of drinking water, not from the river but from the tap water. In places where water is contaminated, the body gets used and they can keep drinking it. But here they tell me that very few people do. Only the poorest are forced to adapt to drinking that poison. The government takes the tap water, filters it, removes the arsenic and chemicals, and sells it like this. This costs 30 takas, approximately 25 cents, or 110 colones. It's 18 liters that can even be found on the street. This is how people access better quality water. If you ever feel completely tangled up, blocked, not knowing how to face work, remember this man fixing the city's phone lines. One of the main causes of extreme pollution in this country is its poor sewage system. Between 80 and 90% of all waste falls directly into the river without any kind of treatment. It is estimated that every day, the rivers in this city receive around 350 tons of toxic waste. Here we are seeing how all the city's wastewater falls. All the fecal waste, urine, medical waste produced by 20 million inhabitants goes directly into the river with no treatment, and even so, this is not the worst. Bangladesh is the second largest textile producer in the world. Dhaka is a huge textile factory, and all the chemicals, detergents, dyes, and metals like lead or chromium end up in the river untreated. We are in what is supposed to be the cleanest area of Dhaka, the modern part where the wealthy people live, a sector that is said to be cleaner and where the government cleans more frequently, because here are the embassies and businesses. Still, look at how a park looks. And the most shocking thing is that, if we get closer to this pond, the largest in Southeast Asia. In the past, it was used by a king to bathe his elephants. You can see pipes coming from factories in the city. They throw pipes that fall here, and look at the chemical reactions happening in the water. Bubbles are coming out of the pond. Maybe like me, you also wonder, is there garbage collection in this city? Does the government do anything to clean the city? The answer is yes. We just saw workers responsible for collecting the garbage and cleaning the city. But the problem is that the culture of throwing garbage in the street is so ingrained that it's impossible to keep the city clean. What you see here is just the garbage accumulated today. I saw a cow's leg, I saw meat that they just threw away. that spreads viruses and germs. Also, there are people who live in these holes we see behind here. A moment ago I saw people coming out who live next to one of the thousands, or even millions of landfills in the city. The smell coming from here is unbearable. It makes you want to vomit just passing by this place. Always in front of them, there are piles of garbage accumulated from what people buy. Anyone who buys a bag of bread or a snack, eats it, and immediately throws it on the ground. It's part of the culture. All the garbage coming from these small shopping centers is simply thrown into the drain. The shop owners take it out so it doesn't bother them and throw it there. It's common to find the drains completely clogged with garbage in the city, but nothing happens. Life goes on as usual. Even here to the side, there are fruit sales, food, and all kinds of products. Nothing happens. I can't believe that the most delicate area, the one they should care for the most, is the worst I've seen. In fact, this is the largest garbage dump we've found in the city, the riverbank. What we are seeing here makes no sense. This is what a canal in the middle of the city looks like. In fact, they keep dumping more garbage. It's simply a public dump now. Everything you see here is garbage covering what was once a river. We realize this because, at the end, there is still a bit of water flowing towards the Buriganga River, the most important one in Bangladesh. The rivers are simply dumps. People come and throw whatever garbage they have to dump. In these types of videos, I don't like to exaggerate. I prefer to tell you the reality of what I'm seeing. And there are areas in Bangladesh where not even a mask can filter the amount of smoke and particles in the air. In places like this, my eyes are tearing up. I can't even see well because of the amount of pollution in the air. This is one of the most affected rivers by pollution in Bangladesh. What we are seeing is not a canal or a drain. This completely black water you see here is the Buriganga River, the most important one in the country. It is biologically dead. That means there is no life here, no fish. Many years ago, fishermen lived off what they took from the river. Now it's all pollution. There might be some microorganisms, but nothing that could feed those who depended on this river. Here, all the fecal waste that reaches the drains, sewers, and large channels of the city falls. Everything ends up here. The chemicals from all the factories also reach here untreated. This is what they've left behind. We are discovering that there are people who live on the boats. It's a means of work and the only space in the city they have to live. Here, they make their lives. They bathe with this water, which is the only water they have access to, and also do their business. Everything here in the river. In the city, besides all the pollution we've seen, there is another type of pollution. It's the invisible pollution. Maybe you can already hear it. It's noise pollution. The noise levels are so high that they cause progressive and irreversible damage to the ears. Additionally, this keeps people in a high-stress state. This can make them react aggressively to normal everyday situations. For this reason, street ear cleaners exist and have plenty of work. Many people think they have earwax, but they actually suffer from deafness. At first glance, it seems that people are no longer affected by it. It's like they've adapted to the pollution. There are very few people like this man we see here who wear masks or care about air quality. However, it is estimated that 270,000 people die every year in Bangladesh due to pollution. Almost 50% of them are children, the most affected. Friends, finally, with this truly spectacular sunset on the Buriganga River, despite the conditions it's in, it's still beautiful to see the sunset while we sail on a small boat. Tell me, what did you think of this video? For me, it has been truly shocking. I had never seen anything like this in my life. It's incredible the damage we are capable of doing to the planet. I hope this video makes us reflect. I hope this helps us value and take even better care of our country, so that the same doesn't happen to us. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe, share it if you liked it, and see you in the next video.